Hi, so this is a bit of a different video, isn't it? So basically, I'm gonna be doing a Minecraft lore theory on the piglins of the Nether, cause out of all the civilizations in Minecraft, all the NPCs, like the illagers and the villagers, these are, in my opinion, the most interesting. Cause there's a lot of lore surrounding them. Why do they turn into zombies in the overworld? Who and why? Who trapped them in the Nether, and why did they trap them in the Nether? And the thing I want to know the most: why do they hate wither skeletons so much? I'm gonna attempt to answer that today. Keep in mind, this is my theory, alright? If y'all have your own theories, let me know in the comments below, as well as if you disagree with any points. So first, let's start off with who trapped them in the Nether. Well, it's very obvious that piglins are not originally from the Nether. Same for their war pigs, the hoglins. Once war pigs, now food. So if I go into the overworld for a second, and I show you what a piglin will turn into in the overworld, as well as a hoglin. So look, the piglin begins to shake like you're curing a zombie villager, except it's the exact opposite. Instead of curing it, you're turning it into one, like such. And for a hoglin, it'll turn into a creature that's the exact opposite of a zombified piglin. While zombified piglins are relatively peaceful until provoked, a zoglin is hostile towards literally everything in the game, except creepers. So if I spawn in a piglin, it attacks it. I spawn in a skeleton horse. What the? Even if the piglin is zombified, it'll attack it. You get the gist. I know. So my question is, why and who trapped them Nether? Let's start off with who. Here's who I think trapped them. Jesus Christ, it's a Bobby. That's right. The villagers trapped them. Now, how would I know this? Well, there's a villager type in Minecraft called the cleric. Let's see if I can get him to spawn in. This may take a while. There, here he is. Yeah, the cleric. Now, if you don't know what a cleric is, they're sort of a potion dealer. They brew and sell potions. And I feel like it's only fair that they are the ones responsible for the zombie plague in the overworld that made all races zombies. The builders, zombies. The villagers, zombies. The piglins, zombies. I mean, if you read the Minecraft Dungeons book, you would even know that illagers are attacked by zombies. So I feel like the clerics are the ones responsible for not just the zombie virus, but also the illness that created the illagers. So why would they trap piglins in the Nether? Why are they cursed and bounded only to the Nether? Well, I think it's safe to say that piglins definitely aren't or a aggressive civilization. Because if I go into survival mode for a split second, yeah, that happens. Ah, crap. Now, it's safe to... Now, one thing that you may know is that piglins do not attack you when you wear gold. And that's another question I have. Why do they love gold so much? Like, if I were to get gold here, and I were to throw it at them, they would inspect it, and they would be so grateful for it that they would give you something in return. These things can be ranged from string all the way up to neverite gear. Yes. Why are they so gratitude towards gold? Well, one reason I think that is because notice how very little things it has in common with the overworld. The only two things it has in common are mushrooms and gold. So maybe piglins like gold because it's the only thing that reminds them of a home they once lived in the overworld. So much so that they would make it their primary resource for weapons, tools, and armor. And even if you look at the piglin brutes, they even wield a golden gauntlet that they use as a shield, sort of. So we've covered who trapped them in Never, the villager clerics, and we also covered why they like gold, because it reminds them of the home they once lived in the overworld, and we talked about why they were trapped in the Never in the first place, because of their aggression. And I also have something that might explain why they will occasionally hunt hoglins, because the Never is very low on food. Aside from hoglins, the only other source of food is mushrooms to make mushroom stew. The lack of food in Never would turn the piglins to basically cannibalism and hunt their once war pigs of the overworld, the hoglins. So now, with all that covered, let's get into the main meat of the video. Wither skeletons. That's an enderite. Oops. Wither skeletons. They really hate wither skeletons, but why? Well, here's one thing I noticed one day when I was playing in creative. If I can get a skull. And I spawn in the wither itself. Notice that the piglins immediately begin to attack it before the wither even fully spawns in. No other mob in the entire game does this. Let me just get rid of it real quick. No other mob or NPC in the game does this at all. So, if I were to go back into the overworld and get some other NPCs and mobs that attack hostile mobs. So, look. Let's get some of these guys in. Indicator. Filter. And I'll even get a iron golem. So, let's spawn in a few villagers. One of the most aggressive society in the game. If I spawn in the wither, notice this. They don't attack it immediately like the piglins do. And if I get a iron golem over here, summon that in. The iron golem, well yes, it does attack it. It's part of its nature. However, though, the piglins are the only other NPC type and even mob type in the game that does this. So this leads me to my theory. So what my theory is that the piglins, desperate to get back to the overworld, decided to study and relearn the ways in the Nether. Then they discovered they could summon in a creature of power and death. That creature we all know. So the piglins started killing liver skeletons for their skulls, so they can complete the summoning ritual. However, that summoning ritual didn't go well for them, as the liver van began to lose their numbers, resorting into zombified piglins, ending up in the Nether as well. They could even explain why the Bastion remnants are so broken down. The liver destroyed them all while it was on its rampage. Now, and after the piglins eventually defeated it, they did suffer a crazy amount of losses. Living in fear of the liver returning, they began and decided to kill all liver skeletons they find, and if they dropped the skull, they would burn it. Just so they don't have to witness the fear and wrath of the liver. So that's my lore theory on the piglins, on who trapped them in the Nether, why they were trapped in the Nether, why they love gold, and why they hate liver skeletons. If you disagree with anything or have your own theory, please comment in the comments below. This is a new type of video to my channel, so I don't know how people will react to it. Anyways, if you feel like I deserve it, leave a like, and hey, there's a subscribe button there for a reason. Why not press it? Anyways, see y'all. Bye.